Welcome back to Let's Laugh About It, the not-so-serious business podcast powered by D2CX. I'm Zoe Kahn, and I'm here to celebrate our wins, vent about our challenges, and bring the D2C and e-commerce community together. Welcome back to Let's Laugh About It, a not-so-serious business podcast. I'm your host, Zoe Kahn, and today we have Kris Moriarty. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
Moriarty. Okay. She's the Senior Director of Customer Experience, Sales Enablement, and Sales...
Special projects.
This is a lot.
It's a lot, I know.
Okay, let me do it again. All right. Kris is the Senior Director of Customer Experience, Sales Enablement, and Special Projects at Epic Gardening and Botanical Interests. She's also the author of CX Blueprint, a guide for leaders on maximizing team potential and creating customer experiences that benefit customers, employees, and the business. She spent her career helping organizations unlock their team's potential, create supportive environments, and design customer journeys that fuel loyalty and growth. In this conversation, we'll dive into how AI is transforming CX, what it means for e-commerce brands, and how leaders can prepare for the next big wave. Just in time for BFCM,
That's
Black
right.
Friday, Cyber Monday.
Everybody's main focus.
But welcome on. If you want to give a little bit more about your background, tell the listeners about you.
Sure. It's funny, I was listening to one of your podcasts, and I think everybody that comes on, it's like, oh, I didn't mean to fall into CX, right? Like nobody does. But I was in business development for years. And my last job prior to Epic was with Stone Brewing, which was such an awesome job. I loved it. And then when pandemic came, I got laid off, and I sort of fell into Epic accidentally as a personal assistant to our founder during COVID. And we had some private equity come in a couple years ago, and so he's like, oh, you biz dev, do you want to head up customer experience? And I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool. And it's just exactly the same thing except on a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Right? You're just developing relationships on a one-on-one basis. So it was a really natural fit.
That's really cool. Actually, I'm interested in the executive assistant part too, because I actually, as I've been growing the agency and doing a bunch of different things, I've been taking I've just looked at founders and seeing how people are successful. And one of the things that someone told me was you need an EA because you need to get rid of all of the little things, and so that you can think about all the big things, and you don't you need to figure out how to spend your time. And I have failed at hiring a good EA because I thought that all of it can, it's the little things. So it's but it is such a hard position to.
It is a hard position.
Yeah. How did you like being in EA?
No.
No.
I did not. I thought I would, and it was not a natural fit for me.
Uh-huh.
I'm very much a creative person, and so I think of something and I react fast. And if you're an EA, you can't be that. You have to be very pragmatic and very thorough.
Yeah.
And I'm an 80% is good. And if you work for somebody who's no, it's 100% every time, then it's not a good position for you. There were parts of it that I was great at. I was also doing the customer experience on that. Mm-hmm. The supportive, squishy stuff I was great at.
Yeah.
But I think I drove our founder a little bit crazy for a bit.
It's so, it's such a hard position because you also have to, for me, I'm sometimes I'm unavailable because I'm unavailable, so I can't even help. And I'm I feel which hopefully we'll get into. I'm excited to dive into your book about being a good leader in CX too. But that's so interesting. But it is a really hard position to fill.
I will say that a lot of the virtual EAs are amazing.
Yeah,
their skill set's insane. You just have to find the right one.
Right. Yeah. So it's a numbers game. It's like dating.
It is.
It kind of it is who you're spending most of your time with. I'm that's how I felt when I was dating, and I'm oh, fine, I'll go on as many more first dates they say I'm supposed to.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
So tell me about actually before I forget. This is Let's Laugh About It. So we talk about not so serious business things and laughable moments. So before we get into, I get carried away. Do you have a laughable moment that you want to share with us?
I do. It's take it with a grain of salt. It's a little creepy laughable. Oh, creepy. So when I first started working with our founder, I was heading up all the CX, and so he was a content to commerce person, and so he posted a lot of content. And he's a gardener, and we had a ton of followers. People love him. He's the equivalent of like what Beethoven is to classical music, Kevin is to the gardening world.
He has a huge YouTube channel, right?
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you garden, you know who Kevin is.
Yes,
He's
yes.
huge. So he did a giveaway. He grew loofah. And he did a giveaway where he was going to give away 3 of these loofahs if you posted a comment on Instagram. So he decides who it is, he posts it, and I'm supposed to reach out and try and get in touch with everybody. The one person who, the third girl, she like sends me back an email, and you know it's not going to be good when it starts like this. She's like, so like, I don't want this to be creepy, but, oh my God, Lord. And she's like, could Kevin use the loofah before you send it to me? I didn't even know how to respond. I'm like, so I responded like, I don't think that's sanitary. So, if you're okay, we're going to send you a regular loofah that he grew.
How did she respond?
She said, okay, I totally get it. Thanks. She was very nice about it.
That's funny. Did you tell Kevin?
Oh, I did. Yeah. I think I tell all of our new hires that story.
That's amazing. What a great icebreaker. It is creepy funny. I have a funny story with, I did like some content deal with another like gardening brand. And I don't think I really understood what Kevin did. Like I follow him on Twitter and I know he's in business and whatever, but I thought I was like, helping him, and I was like, hey, you should work with blah blah blah, and he's like, Zoe, that's my competitor. I'm like, oh, never mind.
That's funny.
So I have a funny laughable Kevin story too, but it is such a cool business.
It is.
What do you like about, or what's your job like at Epic Gardening, and what do you like about it?
I tell people all the time that to me it's such a blessing to be in CX, because every day that you wake up, your job is to figure out how to make someone's day better.
Yeah.
Like you sit there and you're like, okay, if someone's having a good day, how can I make it great? And if somebody's having a bad day, how can I make it better?
Yeah.
And that's really what you have. And so what I love about Epic is I have the freedom to do that. I'm empowered to do what I need to do to make it right for people. And that is such a cool job. And I love that. And I love, of course, talking to the customers, and I love the funny stories that come out of it. And I really love the team that we have. Like, being in gardening, you're dealing with primarily happy people. You're getting vitamin D, it's just you're growing things. And so we really get to help people and make an impact. And then the special projects part of my job, I really love, because we donate to different schools and different nonprofits to help teach the world to grow. And that's a really fulfilling part of the job.
That's amazing. So you've got the CX side, you've got the special projects, and then you've got the sales
enablement. So Botanical Interest has a wholesale side to it. And so I've recently taken on a team it's basically customer experience for the team, right? So our job is to make the team's job easier.
Right.
And cool. Yeah, it is cool. It's a different type of reporting metric, different KPIs, but really also equally fulfilling, because we're taking all this tactical work off of people and allowing them to focus on their strategy and their sales.
That's really cool. What's an example of a project? I'm making up these scenarios in my head, but I'm like, are those right? What's an example of a project that you would take off of, or a part that we take off their plate?
So if you have a sales rep who needs to order displays for a store, right? Then instead of them having to go in and do that, then our team can do that. Or we're launching a portal for them. So they have an online portal now, but we're launching a much more customer-centric and agent-centric portal so that it's a quicker time to deliver, quicker response times, that type of thing.
That's cool. That's kind of so recently, my background is in CX, and that's the heart of everything for me. And, but I've now started to do affiliate and influencer marketing, but so I have and I'm working with G Fuel to do that, gaming supplements, and we it's a really fun project because we work with a lot of influencers, but these influencers also need support.
They do.
So it's been interesting because I've liked to look at it as an affiliate, an influencer experience rather than I guess you can compare it to influencer support,
right?
Because we're doing things like challenges for the influencers and creating community and making sure they know about our drops, and helping them with giveaways, and at the scale that it's at, or they have questions about the business and what they're allowed to talk about, what they're not, what happened here. It has a whole support side to it, and so we now staff for the support of the influencers because we're creating all these like fun things, but there's a lot of communication that happens and
There
like
is.
little like tedious things.
And it's really important. You're really freeing people up to focus on what they're naturally good at instead of getting, I mean, it's the equivalent of your virtual assistant or your assistant that you need. You know?
And you have to date around there too.
You do. You really do.
But very cool. I want to hear more about your book, and can you remind us what it's called? Tell us a little bit about it and where people can find it.
Oh, sure. So it's called The CX Blueprint, and right now it's just on Gumroad. It is self-published, but we were talking a little bit earlier. My CX is so... It's like repetitive, like there's a formula, right? Like if you're nice to people, you go out of your way to be nice and you help people, then you're going to probably be successful. And so to me, there's not a ton that you can teach in CX after you teach the foundation. But to do that, you have to have the right team. And so my book is really designed to help leaders create and support the right team. Because with the right team, it elevates all those foundational things to the next level. When you have people who believe that they're there to make a difference and you empower them and you give them tools that they need so that they're not having to come to you every time for permission to refund $10 or, they know their sandbox to play in, then everybody's so much happier. It makes something like a Black Friday scenario so much better if you're prepared in advance and your team, everybody's on the same page, and then people are just firing on all pistons because you don't have to stop the progress or you don't have to stop the motion to explain something.
At the opposite of micromanaging, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's like such a. Do you do onshore or offshore or both?
We do both. We have a local actually person who's the manager of our team, and then we have the rest of our team offshore, and then for our wholesale team, everyone's in Colorado.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So when I started to do offshore hiring, that was a big differentiator. Was I really had to focus on like a lot like empowering people to speak up, because what I saw was that they were so used to just like being told what to do and that's what they did. But even if they had opinions about, I don't know if that's the right thing to do for the customer, they were like, we've had to work like really hard to, show them that they have a voice and they should have a voice and they should bring things up. And I think that was one of the things where we don't want to I hate micromanaging. Like it's the worst thing ever. Like I don't have time for it. And it is so important when like for, I don't know, do you know Ren from Tushy, the Days? She says that you have to give your agents agency.
You do.
And I loved that. They're literally agents. Like give them agency. And I think that it's such an important thing to make sure people feel empowered. It's like, so.
Well, and I think a lot of times when you come as a CS rep, a lot of people think that's like an entry-level position, or it's just, that their voice doesn't matter. And so like one of the things that we implement is every week we have a weekly meeting and we have one of the agents like go through a product of the week and they have to like explain the product to the team.
Fine.
And then we also have we alternate, and then they suggest something that would improve the department or improve our communication. And so it forces them to have a voice.
Yeah.
And now it's cute because they get super excited to do it and they like applaud for each other. And it's just been really nice to see.
I love that. Yeah. And sometimes I know when I was first doing it, it was like, it's different because when you're speaking to like C-level or like directors and above, like everyone knows how to speak up, and like sometimes it's like, yeah, everyone, they know how to use their voice. And so it's a difference when people are in different positions, because you have to like, I remember having to like remind myself that I have to like give people little projects to like help them like get there, and that's such a good way to do it.
Yeah, it's been really nice. And then also supporting them, like them knowing that you have their back. I mean, CS can be really brutal sometimes. And the customer is always right, hypothetically, but your team has to know that you have their back and support them so that they feel safe to come to you. Because if not, then they just get beaten down, taking this abuse, and that's just unacceptable. And I know a lot of the people that have come to work from us have come from backgrounds where that was the case.
Yeah, and I have noticed too that it's like you almost need to create this like wall between them and the rest of the team, not in a way that there's like they aren't informed or enabled, but as like, oh, if no matter what you guys do, like it's if something goes wrong, I'm here to take the heat for it, because they're already getting like yelled at by customers who don't understand things sometimes, and like they don't need to also be yelled at. Like if like the CEO, if Kevin
Right.
goes in and he sees something but doesn't understand the whole like context, not saying Kevin does that, but it is like a typical like higher level, people don't really understand what the processes are, what really happened with the customer, or like that this customer was harassing us on Facebook comments for whatever, and so we had
happened to us actually.
Funny, not funny, but that stuff is, and it's like really important. It's like you're doing a good job of being like a leader for that, because it's also not easy. You have to like, it's a hard job.
It's a really hard job, and it's also such a critical job. Like, it is where all your customer feedback comes from. It allows you to react early. It allows you to stop problems before they like go out of, get too big, if you have a team that can come and speak up and identify it.
Yeah. Very cool. Now, are you guys using AI for anything in your department?
We do. AI is, I'm sure you get hit up in your inbox every day with 50 different AI companies, and it's changing so rapidly. And there's like a huge advantage to it. Like personally, I love ChatGPT. I track all my macros, whatever it is that you do on ChatGPT. But the way that it's applied to what we do, because gardening is so nuanced and there's so many, like if you have a problem, or Jackie has a problem and she's in whichever Carolina you're in, her zone is very different from your zone.
Right.
And so her environment's different, the way that she's doing things are different. And so it's really hard for AI to pick up on that and give an actual personal correct scenario. And so we were with Gorgeous actually, and their AI just, it wasn't them. We just didn't have the time to train the AI to be the agent.
Yeah.
And you have to have someone, like you need a person to do that. It doesn't remove a person. You just need a person to focus on that.
Yeah.
And we didn't have that. And so we just moved over to Rich Panel, which has been great. They're terrific. And so we use it for automation flows, which has solved, out of the group of people that are trying to self-solve, it has really increased our numbers. I think our automation rate is up to 84% of people that are searching for answers. So that's great.
Yeah.
But we primarily use it for reporting and identifying customer issues. So
Yes.
And that's how we're deploying in CX right now, AI. I know our ops team is doing something, I'm not sure what, and then marketing uses it as well. But I don't know what the applications are that they're using it for.
Yeah, the QA part is what I was really excited, because it's something that I personally have been really passionate about like not only getting the data, but also analyzing it quick enough to get ahead of like issues.
Yeah.
And especially in everything, but it would take a long time there's like the QA part where it's you're QAing your agents, but then there's the QA part where you're QAing the company. And so I've noticed that there was a lot of I was spending a lot of time just like poking around, and now it's so nice. And things are now in platform, but I used to export a bunch of my data and upload it into whatever AI, ChatGPT or whatever, in a safe fashion. Do not upload your company's personal data, into these open AIs. But I would upload it and say can you give me the here's all of my 5-star CSAT customers responses. Can you give, or the 1-star, can you give me the top 3 things that we need to focus on or lean into? And it would spit it out. And I'm like, wow, this is great, because otherwise I'm clicking through and
sorting your Excel spreadsheet, and it was exhausting. I agree. It really helps you identify patterns early. We actually had one just recently where it identified a shipping issue. It wasn't a huge issue, but I didn't see it coming because we really hadn't heard that much from customers.
Yeah.
And it identified it and then I checked, and then there was like a small like error, and so we were able to identify that way faster than we would have if I had waited for enough customers to write
Exactly. Yeah, I don't want the customers to tell me the problem
Right.
happened. I want to tell the customers that there might be a problem and be ahead of it.
Yeah, but that's primarily how we're using it. And then we do also do it for we have an area where you can ask gardening questions, but it gives pretty basic information. It couldn't give anything really deep.
Yeah. We did you ever use the help center search bar in Gorgeous? That was I love that because you can see what people are searching for, but you don't get the results or what they're searching for, and they're not getting results.
Right. Yeah, the metrics in Gorgeous were really good.
Yeah, and the gardening and being in different places and it being so specific, I'm sure it's kind of it reminds me of like supplements, and everybody's different, but people are writing in thinking that like we're like doctors or nutritionists, dietitians, and like it's each person is really different, so all of those answers are so different.
Yeah, I bet.
So it does take it takes a person to manage it for sure.
Yeah, it's I know everybody says it's going to replace jobs, but it's just transferring jobs. It's not. It's just a different job.
Yeah, transferring or transforming your job, because I always say that we just have to lean into it. It excites me because I'm like, this frees up like it's like an EA.
It is.
It's like frees up time in everyone's brain. And recently I realized I wasn't doing a good job for our team as far as like telling them like our stance on AI. And I noticed that we had this big team meeting, and I was like, wait, like, do you guys know that we're like, if you use ChatGPT for things, like, I want
AI.
you to do that. And they were like, everyone was like smiling, like, I'm like, no, yeah. Like and then we held like a little like class on what to do, what not to do, and what to lean into. But I love using it and enabling, because if my team is also using it, they have more time for.
It's the equivalent of spell check. Like, why would you not use spell check? Like, why would you try and sound out or a calculator? Like, why would you not use a calculator? As long
GPS
as you're
on your car.
Yeah, you're just
I don't wanna use
as
a
long
map.
as you use it responsibly. There aren't a lot of compliance things around it right now, which definitely I think will change.
Yep.
For sure. So you'd have to make sure that you're setting that up. But yeah, it's just the most helpful tool to use, and it allows people that are creative, or it takes away the tactical minutia that you're doing, and it allows you to focus on strategy.
Yeah, which is the fun part.
Yeah, it is.
Because I think that's been one of my biggest struggles in CX over the years. Is like, we have all this data, we know how important it is, but like, can we ever get out of the tickets, or can we ever like fix the to-do list is never ending, because there's like a problem here, a problem there, and like, but how big is this problem really? We need to focus on this. So there's always things to do.
There is, and especially as AI becomes more prevalent, I think that it's probably going to dilute like we have a blog, we have a huge blog, right? And I think people are going to stop going to blogs as much, because if you can put something in chat about whatever, like, why do my tomatoes have this white powder on them, and you get an immediate answer, and you're not having to search through blogs, I do think that it's going to diminish that.
Yeah.
But that will make CX so much more important, because if your AI is able to answer those questions, then the people who really need you are really going to value that personal time that you have, and then you'll have the time to do it, because you're not answering 200 tickets on why your tomatoes have powdery mildew.
Exactly. Yeah. I haven't really looked into this, but I'm just curious, and I didn't prep you for this question, but have you guys, because I know there's like, Epic Gardening is so content focused, and like the blogs, have you guys talked about, are you into the like trying to like rank on ChatGPT? Like, have you seen that, where it's like you want Epic Gardening to pop up when people type in, like, when they're looking for gardening stuff?
It came up as a conversation as out of my circle of influence.
Yeah.
I'm sure, though. Like, every company should be thinking that way.
Right. Yeah. It's something that I'm like, it's in the back of my, and it's, for me, I'm always having a hard time staying in my lane, like, because I'm just so interested in everything, and then CX touches it all.
It does.
So it's like, I can't even like ignore all of the other things going on, because it's like popping up. But I'm interested to see how that plays out, and what like players in the game are like ranking on ChatGPT rather than ranking on Google.
Well, the money that they're dumping into AI right now is insane numbers.
Yeah.
Insane numbers.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to see how it plays out. And again, it's so early. It's rapidly changing so quickly. It is impossible to tell where it's going to land.
It's so crazy. And this is not CX focused, but kind of like my boyfriend is in HVAC and commercial HVAC, and they're building all of these data centers to like house all this data that's like coming from AI. And it's coming from everywhere, but it's crazy. Like in Arizona, you'd think that it's like, why would you put something that needs to be cooled there? But it's really like it's a good place for data centers because there's no like hurricanes or tornadoes. It's like stable except for the heat. But it seems like in the construction side, like the real life side, where like it's hard to keep up with like housing this data like physically, and all these huge buildings are popping up. I'm like, how are we going to keep up with this data? Like I when he was explaining this to me, because I'm like, what is a data center? Like, what do you mean? Like this needs like Chat GPT is like costing $5 every time you say it says okay. You know, you've heard stuff like that, or like you're just, and it's like, wait, that actually translates to like space.
I know, and environmental impact.
Yes, yeah.
Which I'm really curious to see how that's going to, because again, there's like no regulations around it right now. So
yeah, it's a whole new thing. Back to, so were you into gardening before working at Epic Gardening?
So I'll give you my quick story. So I had been working at Stone, loved it, got laid off when COVID happened because we were doing these huge events and obviously there's no people. So I got laid off and I was so depressed. I was literally, I remember I love that job. It was so much fun. I was in my living room, I was eating Pop-Tarts in sweats that I had probably been in for 3 days, like just trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I saw Kevin had a video on growing ginger, and I was like, oh, like I'm going to try that. Like I have nothing else to do. And then from that, I had killed an aloe plant twice. Like I cannot tell you how hard it is to kill an aloe plant.
It is hard. Yeah,
it's twice. And so I ended up turning our entire backyard, and we just live close to here, you know, and so our whole backyard and our front yard into gardening, and it grew like 80% of my family's vegetables.
Wow.
For like 2 or 3 years. We ended up getting chickens like in suburbia. So I had sent him an email and was just like, thanks so much. This was really helpful. And he had replied. And then that's how I had found out about the job and applied. So I did not garden, but I do now. And I actually help people like just on the side set up garden beds, because I love teaching people that so much.
That's amazing.
It's such a holistic thing to do. It's good for the environment. It's good for your mental health, your physical health. You're growing your own food. It's such a really amazing hobby.
Yeah, I'm a very out of sight, out of mind person, but I have a lot of gardening has always been hard for me because I'll forget that they're out there and just die. But houseplants, I love my houseplants because I can't, like if it needs water and it'll like I walk past it and I see that it needs to be helped. But I've always wanted to, because I love, like there's something about just watching something grow that you're like, you planted. It's so fulfilling.
Well, and for houseplants, you could do, like some herbs. Like there's nothing cooler than like making an omelet with herbs that you just picked.
Yeah. I've seen those like those herb walls. I want to do something like that, but that's really cool. With the AI and all of the different changes and everything, there's this like platform pressures, of like how do I keep up? And even outside of customer experience, but like inside customer experience, you're keeping up with like, do you guys have a subscription model?
No, it's coming.
Okay. You heard it here first.
It's coming.
But you've got like, let's say your subscription tech, and you've got your like the tech that sends out your emails and your SMS and your loyalty. Do you have a loyalty
We do. Well, we do on Botanical Interest. We're holding on it on Epic because we're waiting for the membership program.
Okay. Membership. So there's like all this tech that comes in here. And I know that with each business is so different, but everyone's sometimes has this like the tech will fix everything and like the platform pressures. Have you felt a shift in that with AI, or what's your opinion on like that side of it?
So the platform thing is real. The amount of platforms that you need to run a business is crazy. And there's not, in my opinion, a lot of good integrations. Like you have to have multiple platforms to do things.
Yeah.
The AI thing, again, I think is too early. We have personally like researched different things, but we just haven't found the right situation for us. And I've heard tell of companies that have like gone like all in and then it just like blows up in their face. It's just, in my opinion, way too early. I think it'll happen, and I think it'll happen in the next year where there will be some magical AI platform where you can, offload or at least, combine a lot of your platforms. But I don't think it's there yet.
Yeah, because it is the first like year, I would say that, the scare of CX, like AI and CX kind of thing, where it was very focused on customer support and replying to your customers. I was like, I'm just going to watch and see what happens. I don't want to feel, I'm getting pressure from people to try to use it, but like it is so new that I don't want to be the guinea pig, and I'll stay in the loop and like, test things, but I'm not going to use really like my customers as the guinea pig,
right? Or
my clients as the guinea pig. And so I was doing like a lot of watching, and I'm so excited that AI is more than just replying, because that was like it's helpful, yes, but I'm like, now that people are using it to like for more productivity and the QA, like we're saying, I've been playing around and I haven't gotten it to do it well yet, but have you seen like you can get AI to like book you like a reservation,
right?
Or like it hasn't been working for me yet, but like it'll scan your computer and like
I don't think it's you. I think it's AI.
You think so?
I do, because I've had the same problem, and I honestly think I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And I am just like, I don't think this is working right.
It's too slow. I'm like, I could have done it 6 times by now.
It's true.
And it's like just like always loading. And so I have like all these tabs of ChatGPT up that are like loading tasks that like I could have done already. But I'm like trying to lean into it. But I've seen what it can do or whatever, and it's like those things, like the little tasks, because I don't like the things I don't want to do things that I don't want to do, but I also don't want my employees to be doing things that they don't want to do if they don't have to do them, So that's what I'm like excited to see with the platforms, but there is a lot of pressure.
There is a lot of pressure, but it's also like crazy expensive right now. It kind of reminds me of like when plasma TVs came out, and you would pay like, I don't even know how much they were charging for them at the time, and now you can go to Costco and get one for $300. I kind of feel that's what it is with AI. Like the proposals that we're getting for stuff, I'm like, that's insane. Like I could hire 3 humans for that.
Well, yeah, and I personally think that the tech companies they don't know how to sell it yet, because I have seen like the pricing is based on like completion, not like the whole platform. And so sometimes I'm like, I look at something, I'm like, this is so expensive. Absolutely not. But then like you look at it and you see that it can also do this and that, but it doesn't charge you for like the handoff, and it doesn't charge you for this. And I'm like, well, you guys are selling it wrong. Sell it this way. If you had told me this, I would have bought it and not been scared of the price.
Well, and the other thing that they're doing really poorly is they're selling you the savings, right? Like it'll save you this much time, it'll save you. They're not selling you the adoption, and you've got to teach people to adopt to it. It's new, people are scared of it. You have to explain how not manually inputting orders, being able to scan an order would free you up to do this more strategic thing. And so they're not, in my opinion, not selling it that way. They're just like, oh, you can, whatever, you can, get rid of 3 employees and it'll, here's an ROI and you can do this. And that's not, in my opinion, the best use of it.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think the people who use the tech are the best people who can sell the tech, because we understand that what we actually use it for, what we care about, what we don't care about, the pricing. Because for me, I'm like, I always want to be able to explain pricing to the CFO or the founder, like, why are you spending so much money? And I'm like, oh, I'll tell you, I have a list here. And like, don't worry, I'm prepared for this question. But yeah, so with have you guys used your CX agents and been able to lean into any types of like revenue drivers or sales or anything?
Yeah, so what we'll do with that is And Gorgeous actually had a really great way to track your revenue. It is sort of a gray number because it accounts for what, like if a ticket buys something within 5 days, it attributes the revenue to you. So it's definitely a gray number.
It really is like attribution for when you look at like Klaviyo attribution, and I actually would use I put bios, or I encourage most of our team to have bios with UTMs so that like at least we can track the UTM and get a better one. But yeah, it's like,
and that's kind of what we did too. We did UTMs and or just you know how in Gorgeous you can insert product.
Yes.
You know, and that type of thing. So we've definitely done that. And then also I've given my team negotiating power. So like if somebody wanted to buy X amount of a product, they know what they could, you know, like what those thresholds are.
Cool.
So, and they never lead with that, you know, but it depends really on the person. And so, so that's another way that we've kind of empowered them to drive revenue.
Good, kind of like upselling. Yeah.
And then we also can, and marketing obviously does this as well, but like we can see a trend. Like, so like if, you know, all of a sudden we're seeing, you know, that people are buying this specific flower seed, we can identify that so marketing can leverage that.
Very cool. Yeah, because I know when I didn't like to look at CX as sales when I first was like, you know, like into it, because I think more so it's like I grew up poor and I'm like, I don't want people to try to sell me something because I don't have money. And so it's like more of a personal problem. But I was like always hesitant to, even I did retail at GNC, and like our KPIs were like, you know, average order value, and like upselling the little like protein bar and like everything. And I really had to change my mindset of like I don't know, this person might be a millionaire, like, and they want these things, they want you to sell them things, and it's going to improve their life. And I've seen that we're like having to train our employees. I'm like, you're not really like, you're doing sales, but like we don't want you to be salesy, because you don't want to like push a customer away. But there's so much opportunity to educate, because you know so much, like you know way more than the customer a lot of times.
It's really you're really providing a service, provided that your heart's in the right place.
Yes.
So if you tell your team, like, just like naturally, like if this was your mom and your mom got this product, and that's, you know, like what all the CRMs are great for. Like you can see, you know, someone's your history. And so if you see that someone purchased, I don't know, this specific product, naturally, like what would you tell your friend or your mom to get next? Like you can just suggest that as an option. Like they don't have to do it.
Yeah.
And so I think if you approach it that way, that it's really a service that you're providing and you have the customer's best interest in mind, then you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. And I think I experienced even like myself when I'm shopping and like somebody tells me about something and I'm like, wow, I'm glad you told me about that, because I do want that rather than this, even if it is a couple more dollars or whatever. Yeah, I agree. It's a pretty easy thing to do, and it's easy to get the team involved as long as they don't feel that you're pressuring them, because that's not their job. Nobody's a CS rep and they expect to have to do sales. But if you package it as service, then it's an easier sell for your team. Yeah, exactly. Do you guys do phones? We do phones. Phones are tricky for us because we can have an older demographic in gardening. And so it's kind of the equivalent of being like a doctor. Like you get someone on the phone and then it's not just the question about the product. It's they want to take you on like a video tour of their garden, and they want you to, and so a phone call can take a long time. And so we actually don't take incoming phone calls. We do call back though. Yes. Yeah. That's very common, I would say. And then it's business-wise smart. I have seen businesses leaning into like providing that as like a like you could pay for it. Yeah. Have you guys thought about that, or like? We have thought about it. It's really hard to scale because again, I mean, if you get a phone call, say that you get 10 phone calls a day and they're 20 minutes each, then you really would have to figure out how to scale that and make. And I'm saying 20 minutes would be kind. Yes. I mean, that's, some people, they just want to talk. Like, they just want a friend. They do. Yeah. So we have not figured out how to scale it well. I think it's a great idea. Mm-hmm. And I think that is actually something that AI may be able to help with in the future. Yeah. I recently did a virtual bra fitting with Pepper. Have you heard of this? I have not heard of the virtual bra fitting. Tell me. Virtual bra fitting at Pepper. So they saw that they had people were returning the bras. And so the number one reason was what just doesn't fit. But they're really big about like making comfortable bras. And like, that's like the whole thing is like, you want to make sure that it fits. And so they started offering virtual, and I believe it's free, but you can sign up, and it's literally just a Calendly link. Like they have it on their site, cool. And they say like, if you want need help fitting, here's like sign up for a virtual fitting here, and it's just a calendar link, and they have their team, like their calendar's open. If they get a virtual fitting, they'll hop on this virtual fitting, and even though they don't charge for it, their return rate has significantly dropped because their people are buying the correct size.
Everyone wants a comfortable bra.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, and I've been meaning to like write a newsletter or put it on LinkedIn because I'm like, and they're so fun, and the girls are just like nice, and they're like friendly. I did one, and I didn't have a tape measure, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I knew I signed up for this and I didn't come prepared. And they're like, no worries, you have a phone charger? And they're like, okay, take the phone charger, put it around. Okay, now show me like, and
that's crazy customer experience. That's really cool.
It was amazing. Yeah. And I'm like, I need to think outside the box more.
I mean, talk about thinking through like what could potentially go wrong in that and solving it before it happens. That's brilliant.
Yeah, and laughable moments. I was like, how many boobs have you seen?
Yeah, are they coming on your podcast soon?
Yeah.
I would hope so.
I need them on, yeah. But it was, a great experience. And Ren from Tushy, not to be such a Ren fan, but I am a Ren fan. But they do, I believe they charge for it at checkout. They will do virtual, virtual installations.
Really?
So they're in the bathroom with the customer installing the bidet.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's actually really cool too.
Yeah, and so they charge for it. So you think like, let's say you pay your employee this and you charge this, and like it's only a 30-minute call, and yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I love hearing like the different outside of the box CX stuff.
And that's true. And I think especially as things progress, like thinking of outside of the box ways to surprise and delight people, and just like be kind and like kind of spread goodness are what are going to differentiate like the companies that stay and thrive in an AI world versus those that just capitulate and fall.
Yeah, I even think that we're not even at the brink of the peak of AI, and I even see it in myself when I'm like shopping around or doing things online, when I'm like shocked when I talk to a human, and it's like, wow, I'm thinking like, how do you afford this? Like, wow, I'm so happy I get to talk to a human. So it does make it so much more special.
It does make it special. And, the companies that really value that and value their customers, I mean, not all companies need that, but, I think most of us do.
Yeah. Do you have any cool surprise and delight opportunities that you've had?
So I give all my staff a gift card threshold every week or every month that they can spend on somebody that was a good interaction. So not like I'm trying to make it better, but if you just had a really cool interaction and you just want to gift someone a gift card, so they'll do like a gift card and free shipping for an item. So we do that. We do surprise seeds for people sometimes. And then, if you hear something, somebody will call in and I don't know, say that, they're getting married and they want to do X. Like we'll send stuff in those instances as well.
Cool. For me, I love doing that stuff, but it's hard to like look at it in a numbers way. Like, I don't know, do these customers come back and not that everything needs to be numbers, but when it kind of does.
There's a reality.
Yeah. But I love doing that stuff, and it's leaning into it, and I think we all think of like the Chewies of the world, where it's like, your dog dies and you want to, and you're canceling your membership, and they don't pressure you at all, and then they send you flowers. Like all of that stuff means so much, and everyone's kind of like, you're doing it for the customer and like out of the goodness of your heart, but then also it would be like really like business changing if someone shares this or talks about it. Or
I mean, it's all about like the win-win-win, right? Like what's good for the customer, what's good for the company, what's good for the greater good. And if you always try and frame your decision making in that, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
And that's why Chewy is legend, right? Like so that's why when you talk to, like, that's the gold standard.
Yeah. The other one is that people used to talk about, which was like a crazy turn of events, Zappos. We all talked about Zappos, but a couple of years ago, I spoke at a returns conference. Crazy. The whole conference was about returns, like returning product and what we're going to do about it. It was a huge conference. And the Zappos people spoke, and they were talking about how, like, the return policy is now, like, biting them in the butt, and, like, they're not. And I sometimes think about how Chewy, and I'm like, I think that it is profitable, but I wonder that, like, we're all looking up to them. But when I first sent flowers to a customer, I'm like, oh, how did this end up being $100?
It's true.
Like, how is like, you have to, like, factor that into your price of goods of, like, but I'm sure that there's, like, they've got good models and everything, but
yeah, but that's crazy. That's why I like the gift card promo, because I mean, typically people will spend more. If they don't, it's fine, but at least it's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, because you do have to be smart about it. It's fun to do these, like, crazy things, but everything costs money.
It is so nice though to give a customer something and they get so excited.
Yeah.
It's super fun, and they're so blown away by it.
Yeah, because it's not. I mean, I'm always blown away when customers fill out a survey. I'm like, wow, they took their time to do this, and they wanted to tell me what there's like, and so, like, if you could gift something to a customer, it just, like, makes their day.
Yeah, it really does. We actually try and respond to all of our negative surveys for sure. And then the ones that really go out of their way, we try and respond to those, because it is so nice of them to do that.
Everyone's busy, and they take time out of their day to, like,
compliment you.
Yeah, and, like, help your
really
business
nice.
They're paying you to help your business.
So true.
So very cool. So remind us again where people can find your book. If people want to interact and follow you on social, where can people find you?
So you can follow me on the CX Blueprint community on Instagram.
Cool.
You can find me at Epic Gardening at any time. My book is on Gumroad, and
what's it called again?
The CX Blueprint.
And
also, I'm happy to just give it to anyone who wants it. Like, if you just reach out to me, I just believe in the foundational employee benefit so much and there's a workbook that goes with it. So, like, if anybody wants it, they can just hit me up and I'll send it to them go over it with their team. And then on LinkedIn. Okay,
cool. That's so kind of you. I hope that everyone takes advantage of that, because it's a good deal.
Yeah.
And everyone needs it, I think. I'm excited. I want to look. I'll like one, please.
I'll send it to you.
One for me, please. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, this is a pleasure. Really nice to meet you finally in person.
Yeah. We love the CX community and strong women in CX too.
That's true. That's
in
true.
Business in general. So thank you so much. And for the listeners, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate it on whichever platform you're listening on, and we'll catch you in the next one. You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and catch us in the next episode. And thank you for listening.